Hi, Cancer. This is the Healing Grasshopper here to do your 2024 yearly forecast. This reading is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, North Node, and Rising. So, this is going to be some year, Cancer. Um, there's a whole lot going on in the astrology. So, I'm going to make astrology our focus for the yearly readings, although I have pulled some cards. So, we'll be doing that too. Um, the first thing that I think we need to talk about is the three outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, are aligning and changing signs between 2024 and 2025. And this is very rare for them all to be clicking into place at the same time. And it has the potential to create great upheavals in the outer world, but seems to promise some very auspicious changes for many individuals on a personal level. So, that more personal micro level is what I'm going to be focusing on. What's going to be happening in the macrocosm, I'm going to leave to the astrologers. There are plenty of astrologers out there in the internet and in YouTube for you to listen to. I'd rather not get into that because some of the energies are quite heavy and unpleasant, and I don't want to talk about it. So I'll leave that to you. I am not an astrologer. I'm merely a tarot reader. So I don't want to let on that I'm getting all this information from, poring over charts and extracting the information myself. I'm not doing that. I'm getting them from several astrologers on the internet, three of them from YouTube. I've listed below if you want to check them out. I have no relationship with them. I just am giving credit where credit is due. Uh, those are three of them that I look at. There's also Astro Twins and many other folks on the internet that you can get this information from. So let's get started. Um, the first really great thing that's happening this year is Venus is direct all year, which makes it easier to focus and make viable plans without stop starts and even the false starts that Venus is known to bring. So if you're not familiar with a Venus retrograde, what goes on with Venus is that she's a little tricky. She can kind of uh, put some rose colored glasses on you in retrograde and make you feel like it's a good idea to do certain things. And then when it goes direct again, you're like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? What is this? So, none of that this year, which is going to be important because all of us, the entire collective, all of the signs are going to be working on entering a new paradigm and building new lives. And there's going to be a whole lot of work to do. So having Venus throwing a wrench in the mix would not have been good, but she's not going to be in our way this year, so that's good. The other thing that's happening is that Saturn in Pisces, that's been with us since March of 23 and will be with us until 2026. Saturn in Pisces can generally help manifest dreams but bring a dose of reality to impractical ideas. Also, for you, Cancer, your work along with health and fitness will be influenced by helping to bring structure and organization, um, will be influenced. Also, it'll be helping to bring structure and organization to your work habits, as well as adopting new health and fitness routine along with various methods of self care. So, self care, Cancer, I feel throughout the whole year is going to be focus for you because it's going to be a year of um, really working on oneself and rebuilding a new life. Um, Jupiter in Taurus, that's been with us since May of 23 and will be with us until May 2024, will bring an influx of new ideas and the optimism and atmosphere to implement them. But be careful not to bite off more than you can chew. Focus on one task at a time. Opportunities for social interactions may present themselves as well, but be careful not to get distracted and led too far away from your plans, which there will be many. Uranus and Taurus, that's been with us since 2018 and will stay until July 2025 with the general energy of disrupting long held beliefs and habits. And we all know habits die hard. Expect rapid change and disruption to the way we think and communicate and how we get around. Cancers will find the need to exit relationships of any kinds that no longer resonate with them. That's going to be an emphasis for a lot of the signs. Um, and you're going to start to see as we go along with the astrology, nobody's got time for toxic relationships, Cancer, especially not you, because you're the givers, nurturers. You can't be carrying this heavy baggage of overgiving and nonsense that toxic people bring. Unbalanced relationships will feel heavy, and you will find a strong urge to rid yourself of them. You will at the same time have a natural inclination to look for more productive relationships. You will find yourself full of ideas, especially with technology. You will have a fresh enthusiasm looking forward. So that's kind of uh, the general energy for the entire year, um, along with Pluto that we're about to talk about. But first, Mercury goes direct on the 1st, which we know already. We've gone through Mercury going direct, allows for a more efficient communication. But note that there are only 3 periods of retrogrades this year, yay, which allow more clear and direct communication. So we all know what Mercury does when it's in retrograde. Okay, it creates havoc, misunderstandings, the printer won't work, it brings all sorts of unpleasant and annoying things that drive us nuts. But so it's going to happen a lot less for a lot shorter this year. So that's good because we're going to be building. So, you know, no Venus unless Mercury retrograde is going to be great. So here is the highlight issue of everyone's year, actually 20 years. Pluto shifting into Aquarius on the 20th of January. So, Pluto has been in Capricorn for the past 20 years, which many of you I'm sure didn't know because I didn't realize this until maybe 4 months ago. I was like, what? Why didn't anyone tell me this? I don't know about you, Cancers, but my past 20 years was really for the dogs. It was awful. I have been through it in the past 20 years, and I'm sure a lot of you have your own stories too of things not going well, of having the feeling of the reverse Midas touch, like everything you touch turns to doo doo, and you just cannot get anything done, and anything that you set your mind to falls apart. I mean, the worst. But which is what Pluto does in Capricorn. Pluto is disruptive, and Capricorn is heavily constructive, but in a forceful way. Like Capricorn must get things done. And Pluto is like, oh yeah, I'm going to kick down your sandcastle. And that's been the whole 20 years. Awful. So Pluto moving into Aquarius is more harmonious, where Pluto is disruptive, yes, but Aquarius likes disruption. Aquarius likes to change things up and innovate and make things fresh and new. So this is going to be fresh and new lives, walking through portals, new paradigms, new lives, new chapters. So Pluto shifting into Aquarius on the 20th will help you feel inspired to change or innovate things for the greater good of all, not just yourself. So these are big energies, big thoughts, big dreams. You will also be working to improve your relationships and making new connections. So the first card that we've pulled for January is Reverse Eight of Cups. So yes, this is um in the traditional Eight of Cups, the traditional Rider-Waite, it's the one where that person is walking away off into the mountains with a bunch of upright cups behind him, which is one of my personal favorite cards. It's to me a sign of being one's own hero and being just courageous in leaving what you may still love, but you know that it's not good for you and you need to walk away. Just when I was saying the Uranus and Taurus energy is going to bring um, that urge to walk away from toxic relationships. So this is what this is, and it's reversed, which is just more concentrated shadow, which is very toxic relationships, very heavy and type of relationships that are really keeping you from moving forward. Um, these are relationships that just cannot continue, and you're going to feel that. And but also it's reversed in saying this is not going to be pleasant. Um, this may feel very heavy to pry yourself away from. These may be people who, yes, you'll recognize are toxic, but you may really love these people, you know? So it may be painful to walk away, but you're going to see no choice in the matter. You're still going to need to do what you have to do. Um, so, yeah, I don't think that we need clarity for this card. It's pretty clear. Yeah, I'm feeling a very, very sad kind of. But you know what, Cancer, I am extremely qualified to talk about this because I went through this myself. I've already gone through this pain a year and a half ago of someone that Cancer, you know, it's that type of thing where I've made this comparison a lot, and it's kind of a strange comparison, but it's kind of like finding out that your mother is a serial killer kind of thing, where that's not what happened, but kind of like the closest person to you in your life that you makes you feel safe and loved and whatever that you love the most in the universe turns out to be completely the opposite, you know. And there's revelations where, you know, things are very heavy and not comfortable, but we're going to go through this together. Um, Cancer, and please make a comment. Um, Not just for my own helping me with the algorithm thing, which it absolutely does. I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't, but um, if you want to go have a look at some of Capricorn's readings, what's been going on with the Capricorn collective is they're really helping each other through it because Capricorn has been really through it, and I'm a Capricorn, by the way. So, talking about it can really help, especially when you start to see that other people can relate and you're not the only person that's going through it. Anyway, moving on. Um, we're not going to worry about this too much because we're moving on to bigger, better things. In February, there's not much happening in the astrology, so I just pulled a card, which is the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so Six of Pentacles talks about um, generosity and obviously generosity with money. It doesn't necessarily need to be with money, it could also be with your time. Um, and this is upright, so this is not the overgiving that this was probably about. This is giving in your healthy relationships and how this coming February there might be people in your life that may need for you to help them. This one, wait, let's clarify this one. Spirit, can we have Spirit, can we have clarity for February? Got two cards here. Fabulous. Okay, so we have Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune talks about an abundance of resources. I don't know if these resources have already come to you or they are going to come to you, but that's nice to see that you're going to be having some financial karma coming, good karma coming to you that will allow you to help others. And this may be help that you've been wanting to do for a while. Um, Knight of Cups in reverse is warning you here. I feel very strongly of these people over here. This is be careful not to overgive and giving to the wrong people, right? Because here's the Knight of Cups who is moving forward with a cup that he is going to hand to someone. He's ready to give this cup away, but it's in reverse for you. So this is, in this case is kind of a halting, like, wait, think about this before you're giving things away, which is talking about this Eight of Cups here. Okay, so we've got March. Lunar eclipse in Libra on the 25th, a time to focus on relationships still. Uh, Yeah, that's going to be a theme for you. There's a lot of relationship dealings throughout the year. Time to focus on relationships and making sure that your partner or friend is not harboring an issue. Encourage them to talk about it so you can work it out. Listen and be empathetic, which is preaching to the choir. That's what you do, Cancer. Um, so acknowledgement, understanding, and communication is key. So I'm feeling like these are the same people here that you're going to be nurturing. There's going to be some people in your, hold on. Yeah, so Spirit's talking about, yes, these are the same people. So there is a small group in your life, um, probably your immediate family members that you're living with, your children, your husband, or whatever, that's going to need extra attention. this year. You're going to be working on developing these relationships, and Cancer, you being the nurturer, they're really going to be needing that nurturing this year. Because, by the way, it's not you, let me remind you, that's walking through this portal of the Pluto entering Aquarius. This is everyone, and not all signs are going to be dealing with it as well as you, even though you're going to have your difficulties as well. But not everyone's Cancer. You know, um, you have that special gift that you hold inside of you in your hearts that people are going to be needing this year. Um, so in March we've got death. Okay, so there is going to be wow. There's a lot of relationship. Um, yeah, Cancer. I'm feeling a lot of. There's a lot. There's a lot. Ay, ay, ay. Cancer. There's too much. There are too many people. Okay, so like I said, there are two groups of people here that you're going to be dealing with that are going to be needing attention in different ways. Your loved ones that are going to need nurturing, but your other people in your life who are toxic that you're really going to have to take that side to, um, figuratively. Yeah. Don't use the side on them. That's messy, bloody. Let's not do that. But death talks about endings, relationships that you're going to need to walk away from. Unfortunately, not going to be, and you know, this rose here is really talking to me here about purity and having good intentions. You may feel guilty about what you need to do, but again, ain't nobody got time for that. You have to do what you have to do. And you're just going to have to ignore the oh, you're really going to do me like that? That's the way it really is. Don't worry about it. They're going to have to go lick their wounds elsewhere. You've got too much on your plate to deal with than their nonsense. Um, but let's get some clarity with the death. Spirit needs some clarity on death. And look at there's the sun behind the death. It's like, you just get past this and okay, not these. None of these. It's this one. What did I just say about not worrying about the nonsense? Okay, so King of Cups is the perfect card for this. This man is about reining in one's emotions and not letting their emotions get in the way of not letting his emotions get in the way of his life and what he needs to do in life. He is the stoic king. He's not a heartless king, but he certainly is in control of his emotions. And in reverse, tells us that he's really got to be the bad guy here. He's going to be super stoic. He is not going to give a damn about hurting your feelings. If you got to go, you got to go. There's the door. Everything on the floor to the left. What's that? The Beyonce song? Yeah, you don't care. And I think this is less advice and more sentiment. This is the way you're going to be feeling. You, you, yeah, there's no advice for this other than you need to just go with what your gut is telling you. You need to bounce. That's all I have to say about that. Um, and you're gonna know who those people are. So, March, April, solar eclipse in Aries. Your role at work will be your focus in this energy, Cancer. If you're not being valued or paid your worth, then it will be acutely felt at this time with a sharp urge to make a change. It's, that certainly talks about that too. You made this death may be applying to April too. How right? But anyway, sorry. Let's continue with the astrology and we'll go back to the cards. It will be acutely felt at this time with a sharp urge to make a change. Take the time to let your frustration subside before making any rash decisions. A little restraint and quiet time will have you thinking clearly to a new path in no time. Okay, so the King of Cups might also be saying that as well with this really does resonate with April as well. But let's see what we've got here. Eight of Wands. Okay, so we're going to come back to the Eight of Wands in a moment. So, and applying this to April, because it's very apropos. Your job, with the nonsense that's going on at your job, you're not going to be able to handle anymore. You're gonna want to address it, which is what a lot of people are going through. Almost everybody, it's like Capricorn, Taurus, Aries, um, a lot of people are going through this. But if you're feeling this way, you're absolutely justified in feeling this way, but just don't let it get ugly at work. You don't want that. You never want that. Don't burn any bridges for work because it's just never a good thing. It may come back to bite you later. And also just make sure it's really what you want to do. Um, like I said, that this is the year of change and new paradigms and new chapters, and work is definitely included in that. But you may want to make plans before you're telling people F off and walking out the door. Um, because there's a lot building of a new life that you're going to need to do, and you might need this income. We'll talk about it when we get closer to this month and this energy, but just be careful is all I'm saying. Don't get overly emotional at the job. With your friends that you want to get rid of, yeah, you can, let the axe fall with that, but just not at your job. Um, Eight of Wands talks about a lot going on, things happening swiftly too. So again, you may not have control over how swiftly things are happening, but just be mindful. That's all. Take each step with, a dose of restraints and don't let it overcome you and overwhelm you. Um, so, and try not to argue too, because this spiral here, it's usually not a spiral. They're usually flying straight lines, but this spiral really looks like kind of tornado like. So try not to get caught up in the nonsense. Um, May. So in May, Jupiter into Gemini on the 25th and will be with us for a year until May of 2025, brings introspection, spirituality, and shadow work will be the focus here, with support from the universe to examine and work on negative emotions like guilt, fear, and resentment. If you commit to doing the work, you will certainly be better for it later. Lovely. So our card for May is Three of Wands reversed. Okay. So the Three of Wands is the waiting for your ships to come in card, and being certain that the ship is on the horizon and you see it coming. Um, but for you, you have it reversed, which says that, look, you went through all of this severing of relationships. Your job is working your last nerve. There's a lot going on in your life, and it may be difficult to see your way forward with all of this going on in your life, right? But the astrology is telling you, and it's not just telling you, this is something you're going to feel. You're going to be feeling the need to take a beat and take some quiet time and look within and see what kind of limiting beliefs you have, what kind of negative thoughts that you have that are getting in your way. Um, so it's time to be kind to yourself and do some self-care, Cancer. Because Cancer almost also like Capricorn as well. But I'd say Cancer more than any other sign in general, but especially in these coming years, are going to be the ones that are really going to need to be doing the self care, because you, Cancer, are the nurturers. You are always showing up for other people, right? So you need to remember to take care of yourself, because you're going to run yourself down. And you're not going to be able, if there's so much happening, you're not going to be able to hear that quiet voice of spirit trying to lead you to your heaven on earth. So, oh, Cancers, I feel your heavy energy. I want to hug you all. You're going to get there, honey pies. I promise. You're just going to need to have faith. I want to cry. So, June, um, Saturn goes retrograde on June 29th. No, I'm sorry. Saturn has, yes. So Saturn goes retrograde on the 29th and will stay that way until November 15th. So you might find yourself to be very emotional during this period. Here we go, Cancers. So try to be mindful and not to let it affect your relationships, right? So that still continues what we were talking about, how that's like, when you're on the plane and they tell you that if the oxygen masks drop, to put them on yourself first before your children, right? You can't help other people if you're unconscious, if you're in a heap on the floor. You've got to take care of yourself so you can nurture others. So self-care, so that it doesn't affect your relationships, and also so that you're not snapping at people and being over emotional. So Neptune retrogrades on the 1st and will be with us until the 6th of December. This will add to the irritation of the sun, of Saturn retrograde, sorry. So self-awareness, reflection, and self-care will help. Shadow work will be greatly supported at this time, and it will also be helpful to enjoy. In, I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied here. Let me take a sip of water. Mouth is also dry. Shadow work will be greatly supported at this time, and it will also help to indulge in some therapy sessions to help sort out issues. Because Cancer, you've been through a lot, and you're going to be going through quite a bit, as other people are going to be going through it as well, and it's going to be affecting you. There's nothing wrong with therapy for you, those of you who have that stigma in your life of, oh, therapy means you're crazy. That's nonsense. It's always good to have someone with the expertise to help you, someone who can, have a fresh look at things from the outside so they can help you see the forest for the trees. There's nothing wrong with that. I like to think of therapy. I'm not in therapy currently, but I've been in therapy before. You should think of it like getting a massage or going to get your nails done. It's something that you do for you. Someone who's there to just listen to you. You don't have to give anything to them. Well, you have to pay them, yeah, but you're not nurturing them, Cancer. They're there to nurture you for once, listen to you and your issues and be on your side and help you through things. Isn't that lovely? What's so terrible about that? So throw out that stigma for those of you who are wrinkling your nose at me. Be kind to yourself and do something good and productive for yourself. Um, so the June card, we have the High Priestess. You see, so this is about introspection, shadow work, connection with spirit. I don't need clarity for that either. It's very clear what Spirit is saying. You're going to need to take a step back and look within. Very simple. So, July, North Node transit to Aries. Now will be, and that's been with us since July 2023 and will stay with us until January of 2025. So it'll be with us for a while. Now will be the time. So this is really a blanket energy. It's not really a July energy specifically, but now will be the time to be bold and go for accomplishing your business goals. It's not the time to tiptoe or put things on hold. This energy is a turbocharge that doesn't happen often, so take advantage of it. Be mindful that all eyes will be on you with an atmosphere to inspire others, so lead with a positive foot. So this is really for the entire year. Um, that there's going to be a lot of support in the area of business. So this energy of you leaving your job, um, by July, you may have left it already, but it's all right because the universe has a plan for you. So let's see what we've got. Four of Cups. So this talks about um, the need to have a dose of optimism and that all of this that you've been going through throughout the year can be fatiguing, emotionally fatiguing, especially, and how you can feel fed up. And I'll be reminding you as the time comes that you have to remember that 2024, again, I'm going to remind you about Pluto into Aquarius, and then that there is an upheaval, a disruption of your life, almost like a tower where things are just destroyed and moved out of your way so you can make room for new things. And that can be jarring and emotionally like overwhelming and fatiguing. So let's get clarity on this one. We've got three cards. Hold on. So not all of the cards. We're going to take the bottom card. The Lovers. Okay. So this is talking about focusing on what you resonate with and not what brings you strife and stress. There's going to be plenty in your life that's going energies that'll be supportive and loving and nurturing, um, that you need to focus on instead of whatever else that's making you feel fed up with the world. So let's get one more. One more spirit, please. Okay, so we've got, look at that, the Three of Wands again. But this time it's upright. You see here, it's reversed, but over here, if you just, okay, so the Four of Cups, the Rider-Waite card is very much like this, where they're, yeah, it's the same, where they're looking down and they can't see what the universe is handing to them. If you just look up, you're going to see this. You're going to see your ship coming in the distance. This is when all of this bullshit is going to start to clear away. So it's coming. And I'll remind you as the time comes, Cancer. Um, I'll walk you through it. It'll be tough, but it's all going to be worth it in the end. So, the piles of brick and concrete do turn into a building. You just need to put it together. It'll get there. But the building is tiring. So, excuse me, we've got August, right? Saturn Saturn squared Jupiter on the 19th, inviting us all to shed bad habits and excesses that might be unhealthy or unproductive. Also, caution in spending and an urge to make wise choices in finance will be advised. Yes. These finances, whatever they are, if they were gifted or you got a raise or whatever it is, now be the time to apply to probably debts and that kind of thing. Ten of Swords, you're still dealing with these things that have happened that have stressed you out or broken your heart or whatever. But you've got to remember to look up and this is over now. So, you know, a little retrospection is fine, but don't stay there too long. The past no longer exists. Let's get clarity. Spirit, can we have clarity on the Ten of Swords, please? We got two cards. Right, okay. So again, the Ten of Wands talks about, see, we got ten of swords, we got two tens here. So this is about, excuse me, coming to um the end, coming to, the coming to ahead of things. It's finished, it's done. It's time to walk over to the castle with everything that you've done and learned and take part in the banquet. Um, and it's time to take your swords. See, the Seven of Swords talks of it's a complex card. Um, it can talk about number one, deception, but that's not what we're talking about here. Number two, it can also talk about being more clever than your opponents. But yeah, that's more of what this means here. But in the sense of it's already happened, and these swords represent the things that you've learned, your karmic lessons that you're taking with you moving forward that you'll be better for. It's helped you grow. It's part of your wheel of fortune, your good karma and your lessons that you've learned through your karma that'll help build your new life. Um, you know, and whatever lessons that your karmic people that you've walked away from need to learn will be there for them to learn, for them to take with them if they want to or not. But look at all these swords you have. You've got all of these pearls to take with you. You're going to be fine. New and improved. You'll be much better. So for September, we have Uranus goes retrograde on the 1st until January 2025. You will have a hunger for new social groups and experiences with a chance to reflect on major changes you've made in your life this year. That's exactly what this is saying. You're reflecting on the changes you've made and the pearls that it's provided you. Um, King of Wands, right? So the King of Wands is a man who, and look, it's opposite this death here. This is 6 months later after you have closed out a lot of heavy energies and you're ready to build something new. Um, and I really do feel like this, we have the literal sense because the King of Wands talks about entrepreneurship, and I really feel like this is the literal sense of that. You may be starting a new business. And there are a few of you, a few other signs that got King of Wands upright in their charts. There are a lot of people starting new businesses this year. And if this is not a new business, this is just wanting something more for yourself, wanting something better for yourself, and you striving to get it. So this isn't going to all be heavy energy and lifting bricks and building, and there's going to be also this exciting sense of, you know, yay, I've got all this new exciting new friends, new acquaintances, new mentors in my life. So October, so the world goes up here, right? So October, we've got a solar eclipse in Libra. You will be in your element, Cancer, enjoying your time at home with loved ones. Hallelujah. and taking a moment to devote some time to the members of your family that have been needing your nurturing energy is what you do best, Cancer. So that's lovely. Let's see what we have for. Okay, so Ten of Wands. This is going to be a welcome time of just being able to. So, sorry for those of you who are just listening, is Ten of Wands. So, Ten of Wands is about um, being at the end of a long exertion. Like, oh, I have all of these things on my plate, all of this to carry on my back, but you're arriving at this castle. And here it's so apropos that the castle looks more like a house. And that's what we're talking about here. You taking time at home and choose walking towards home. Yes, you've had a lot of burdens to deal with, but lovely. You're going to have time at home to kind of unwind and spend with your family so you can recharge. And nurturing others is your way of recharging to Cancer because it just gives you so much pleasure. It's just you and your elements. Okay, so let's see what this is. You've got the Eight of Swords. Um, so yeah, this goes along with the Ten of Wands and feeling overwhelmed. This is going to be a year of dealing with a whole lot, dealing with situations that are difficult that you sometimes can't see your way out of. But you've got to remember that not to try and deal with it all yourself, Cancer. You're so you're you're always wanting to nurture and help others that sometimes you forget that you need to receive the help from your loved ones as well. So here she is. She's among all of these swords here, tied up and blindfolded. Um, but it's really not as bad as she thinks. She can get out of this situation if she wanted to. She's got plenty of help, and she's got this castle behind her. You've got the Ten of Wands here with this house behind in front of her screaming out at me that as soon as I look at both of these cards here, I'm looking at the castle off in the distance, and here I'm looking at the home. Your answer to your problems is probably with your loved ones. Not that they're going to solve it for you, but in just basking in the love will help you recharge and help you um, see more clearly. Because just in taking a few days to maybe even a few weeks, like a vacation of being immersed in love and recreation and, some self care can help you see through this when it's time to get back to it and help you to see that your burdens aren't quite as heavy as you thought they were. So, November, there's not as much to talk about for November. There's no astrology for November. So, we've got the Knight of Swords. So, again, yeah, We got some swords this year. So Knight of Swords is the in the traditional Rider Waite is the one on the white horse that's really he's charging forward, looks very dynamic. He's in a rush. Um, the Knight of Swords, and with the emphasis on the word rush. Knight of Swords can be very careless with his words and snippy and caustic sometimes, and you've got it reversed, which is, you know, a little like reckless with their actions and words. So this screams out at me to be careful of your moods. That you're Don't be crabby crabs. Be careful not to whoops, wrong deck. Not to let what you're going through affect the people around you. It's pretty much what this Knight of Swords is saying. Which December as well is going to also have that theme because we have Mars in retrograde about to talk about. So I really feel that this also applies to December. This is um, you're going to start feeling the shadow period of Mars in retrograde, and we'll talk about it again. Let's get okay. So yeah, this is the Four of Pentacles. Is talks about control, and maybe being a little over controlling, but also this talks about grounding. So, yeah, both. So, we're mindfulness. Yes. Okay. So, being mindful is going to be very important here, and not being up in your head and your thoughts too much, and really being mindful and being sure that what you have on your mind is not derailing you. So you're going to need to come down to earth and kind of assess things as they come and not flying off the handle too much. Because the chariot also tells us that there's going to be a lot going on. You're really going to be working on moving forward, right? Because remember over here, it was kind of like we had where's the Four of Cups? We had that feeling and the Three of Wands of mental fatigue and not being able to really see our way forward and having kind of a general resentment of things that things are not going well. But now you're kind of starting to get that feeling of seeing your way forward and wanting to move forward and get things done. But be careful how you do it because in December, Mars goes retrograde, which brings an energy of hyper motivation and wanting to accomplish everything quickly, which is not always the best choice. So be aware of this energy and resist the urge to rush. Tempers can also flare, so be mindful, right? The Chariot and the Knight of Swords. Be mindful to avoid conflicts. You might also find yourself to be the voice of reason, right? The Four of Pentacles, the voice of reason in this energy. So Stay mindful and keep your cool. Someone is going to have to be the level-headed one. The level-headed one. Huh? And the universe is likely going to call on you to be the one, right? So that is the Four of Pentacles energy of being level-headed and having your feet firmly on the ground. And yes, indulging in that movement of the chariot, but, take your foot off the brake a little because the Knight of Swords here can be the result of that. And that is, a sharp tongue that you may regret later. So let's see what we got. The Magician reversed. Okay. So there's a lot of stopping, starting, um, feeling kind of fatigued and disgruntled and dealing with a lot. Cancer, there's going to be a lot happening this year. And I don't want you to walk away from this reading feeling like, oh, I've got nothing to look forward to. You do. But Pluto, again, I don't know how many times I've already reminded you, but I'm going to remind you again that Pluto is entering Aquarius, right? Which is disruption. And disruption can be jarring, fatiguing, startling, burdensome, but it's like the Tower card. The Tower card is not fun. You have to go through the toppling of the tower, but once it topples, the sun comes out and you can build something new and fresh. And the Magician in reverse talks about having the tools to do it, but that's upright. In reverse, it's like you're going to be frustrated, okay? Because you're going to be in a rush. You're going to have this chariot here, and you're going to have Mars retrograde, which is going to make you feel like you're not getting anywhere. Because Mars is all about hurry up, go, 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 go. And it's going to make you feel like, well, I can't go. I don't have a car yet, or whatever. Not a very good analogy, but you're just going to need to, and I'm going to remind you when you get there, you're just going to need to remind yourself that it's just the influence of Mars making you feel like the magician reversed. You are the magician, absolutely, but temporarily you're going to feel like everything is, a mess, that nothing's happening the way you want it. It's not happening fast enough. Again, I'm picking up the wrong deck. Or maybe, hold on. Okay, Spirit wants to use this deck, so let's so this is the Vivid Journey deck that I have chosen to do these yearlies because the past 20 years have been so heavy and dark that I wanted to use a deck that was brighter and lighter and the it's so sweetly illustrated and I love the colors. So, and it's also illustrate it also illustrates the energy is a little differently than the traditional Rider Waite. So, which is what Spirit is asking for here. A little different interpretation, which is strength. I want to cry again. So, right, like I was saying, in December, you're going to feel frustrated. So, Spirit is saying you're going to need to have strength. You're going to need to reach within your heart center and let your heart lead you and not everything that's going on in your head. Let's get one more. What, what did I just say? That it's going to cut the Ten of Cups. It doesn't get any more perfect than that, guys. The Ten of Cups. This is Spirit promising you that emotional fulfillment is on its way. You just have to be patient. Don't let yourself, don't let the building energies, and by building I mean, hammers, saws, screwdrivers building, of you having to build your life piece by piece. Sometimes it's not fun. It's not fun, um, you know, scrubbing the floors and cleaning out the dusty mansion that's just been gifted to you. It's not ready yet, but it will be a beautiful mansion one day. It's coming. So you just have to be patient and have faith. That's lovely, Spirit. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, I think that's the whole of the message there. So in review, your keywords and phrases. Number one is an influx of new ideas, for sure. That's going to be true for the entire collective, is what Pluto and Aquarius brings. Two, an overhaul of relationships, improving communication, and building new connections. Hooray, for sure. In with the new. So, three is knowing your worth and demanding nothing less. You damn Skippy, because you're worth it. Number four, shadow work and spiritual connection will always get you through everything. Five, drive to accomplish business goals and inspiration to others. Beautiful. Six, exercising your innate nurturing skills to comfort, inspire, and foster peace and calm. Yeah, you're going to be the eye of the storm for a lot of people, Cancer. Just allow yourself to be that for yourself as well. I know that sounds a little awkward, but you've got that inner peace. Just don't forget to utilize it because you're going to need it this year. The universe is conspiring to build the life of your dreams, Cancer. Have faith and belief. I love you, Cancer. I hope this left you with hope and excitement for the future. I'll speak to you soon, Cancer. Love and light.